Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you my 2022 reading tracker spreadsheet. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different for me this year. In the past 2 years, I have kept a book bullet journal, like a reading bullet journal. And I tracked all of my reading that way. In addition, last year I did do a reading spreadsheet. I didn't share it with you guys. I used the book Riot spreadsheet, and I used that in addition to the bullet journal last year. And I really liked it. I like the fact that I am able to put in all of my information of the books that I'm reading, and then it will pop out my stats. Easy peasy at the end of the year, and there are just a lot of different capabilities that it has. And so this year I made the decision. It was kind of a difficult decision to make, to be completely honest, but I made the decision to not do a bullet journal at all. I know I told you guys I wasn't going to film my plan with me's anymore. I was still planning on doing a bullet journal. I actually started it. I sketched out all my annual spreads. I started making them, and then halfway through, I'm like, you know what? This is redundant. I don't need to be doing this twice. I'm going to be doing all of this in my spreadsheet, and so I don't need to create more work for myself, so I'm just going to use the spreadsheet this year. At that point, I had still planned on using the Book Riot spreadsheet that I had used last year. I kind of figured out how to make it work for me. And then I saw Allie from Hardback Hoarder. I saw her video with her walkthrough of her spreadsheet that she has created. And so I really got intrigued by that, went ahead and downloaded it, and completely revamped the way that I'm going to be tracking my reading going forward this year. I am going to be using her spreadsheet, which I will link her video and her spreadsheet both down below. If you are going to use this spreadsheet, it is free to use. She does have a tip jar available if you would like to tip her. She created all of this. And you will need to copy it, create a copy for yourself. Do not try to edit her original spreadsheet. It will not work. Just know that going into it. You need to create a copy for yourself. But that all being said, I was able to create the copy, and then I was able to like tweak it, make some changes to it, kind of make it my own. I put in some challenges that I have made for myself. I deleted some stuff out that she had on hers that I just didn't need. And so I thought I would share with you what my finished product looks like. So let's get into this. All right, so here is the first page of it. Originally, hers has like an instruction sheet at the beginning, and I moved that to the end. I didn't delete it because I thought it would be nice to have there just in case, but I don't need it right at the beginning. So when I open up my spreadsheet, the first thing I see is my reading books read log. So here I have a space where I can put in, I already put in my first read of the year, which is A Woman of Intelligence. So you have title, author, pages read. I decided this year that in order to track physical pages read versus the audiobook listening time that I do, I am not going to put in the page count of the books that I'm listening to. I'm only going to put in the hours listened to. So that's different from the way that I've done it in the past. So I did not read physically this book. So I put the hours that I listened to it, which is the length of the audiobook. My rating, I am doing half-star ratings in here this year. Obviously Goodreads, I can't do that, but in here I am going to. The month that I read it, the main genre. There is also a space for subgenre, which I'm leaving on here, but I'm not always going to be using. Just because I don't need to. And for this specific book, there really wasn't a subgenre. The intended audience. So this can be, I forgot to say, all of these that have the little arrow have a drop down. So like main genre, she has a bunch of them listed in here that you can pick from. Same audience. There's adult, children, middle grade, new adult, and YA. I'm going to go in and remove new adult. I don't read new adult. I don't track new adult. It's either adult or YA. So I'm going to do away with that. Serial means whether it was a standalone, a companion, whether you don't know if it's a series. You can put the series it's part of, the number in the series that it is. Format, this one was audiobook, ebook, physical, you can put in. All right, let's go over release date. I'm just putting the release year because that's all I really need to know. The author status, this is whether it is a debut author, whether it's an author I've read before, or if it's just a new to me author. This one, it was not her debut book, but it was a new to me author. I can check off if it's own voices. The source, this was a NetGalley book for me. And so I can put whether it was a gifted book. This is one of the areas that I did quite a bit of tweaking to the original spreadsheet. I don't even know if this was on the original spreadsheet. I know I subbed out something else for this. But so I have my options here, or if it was gifted to me, I got it from the library. If it was a NetGalley book, if the publisher or author sent it to me for review, so like a physical review copy, a Scribd book that I got from Scribd, if it's off of my own shelf or other. I do have date started and date finished because it will give me like an average number of days per book at the end of the year. So days read, if I was part of a readathon, if it was a reread, where I heard about it from, and so I can put in there, if I know where I heard about it from, I can put it in there. And then read for, here I can put like if I'm doing read your bookshelf challenge, or I read it to complete a specific challenge or readathon or whatever, read it to review, whatever it was. And then notes, if I wanted to make notes. So that is what is on this initial page. And then here at the bottom, she put in, this year was new, and I know she spent a lot of time doing this, and so I'm going to be using this. It's a habit tracker, and it tracks if you physically read, audiobook read, both or none for every day throughout the year. And so I am not tracking specifically how many pages I read or hours I listen. I do not have the capacity to even attempt that. So instead, I am just populating with a 1 if I did physically read or listen to an audiobook, and a 0 if I didn't. So you can see these first 3 days in January. I read, I listened, and then on day 3, I did not read anything physically, but I did listen. So this time reading, I'm not using. But over here, this is conditionally formatted to where if it's both, it will automatically turn it purple. If you only do audiobook, blue, and if you only physical read, green, and if none, it will be white. It'll tell you how many total days you read or listen, and then you will have that tracker here at the bottom as well, and it'll tell you all of this information, and you put in this for every single day of the month. And so here's like all of January, and then you go down and you have February, and it goes through every month of the entire year. And so that is really helpful. I really, really like that. Okay, and then this next tab is for gifted books. So, oops, let's get up to the top. These are all of the books that I have been gifted. So I do have books that were gifted to me in the past here. You'll see I just put subscriber. I need to go look in the front of the book to check which subscriber, because I do want to list in here specifically which subscriber sent me these. And I do have that somewhere. As I was like writing this down really quick, I wasn't paying attention. And so this also includes all of our Christmas book exchange books. So lots of Krista, Sarah, and Lindsay. For those of you that don't know, I do a book exchange with 3 of my friends here on BookTube. But over here, you see the total number of books that I have that have been gifted to me by friends. And so it will tell me the total number that I read this year. I am not putting on here books that I was gifted that I've already read. These are just starting fresh at the beginning of the year. We're starting with a total read of 0, and it will tell me the percentage of how many I've read. This will continue to change throughout the year, because as I am gifted books throughout the year, I will add them to this list, and that will continue to change. But here I can check off when I've read it, and then this will change right here. And I can also put what my rating was, so that I can track that as well. This is something that I wanted to keep track of this year. Another thing that I wanted to have is reviews. So these are physical review copies, not NetGalley, but physical reviews that were sent to me by the publisher or the author. And so I have the title, author, who it was sent by, whether it was a publicity company, publisher, the author, whatever it was, and then once again I can check them off as I read them. Same exact thing here, and I can keep track of what I rated them as well. So that will continue to change throughout the year, especially like the total and the percentages, things like that will change throughout the year. This next tab I love. This is my challenges tab. So I have 2 different challenges that I made for myself this year. I have read your bookshelf challenge and the authors that I wanted to read in 2022. So I had a video that went up that was 10 authors that I wanted to read in 2022. I listed out all 10 of those authors here, and as I put in the book that I'm gonna read, so like for instance, right now I'm reading Beneath a Scarlet, get out of here, buddy, Sky by Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. As soon as I hit enter, this changes and it will tell me how much I have to go for the year, as far as like the progress bar. So if I put in here, you know, Turtle in Paradise, that will change what I've completed, and I will get a full bar by the end of the year, which I just love that. I think that that's so fun. So right now though, I do not have any completed, so it is 0. The exact same thing for over here. This is Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. I put the month and the challenge for each of them, and then as I complete the book, so in January I'm planning on reading The Midnight Library. As soon as I put that in, it will start populating this and start filling that out. So every time I put a book in here, it just gets a little fuller and a little fuller, and I just love that. I love these progress bars. They just speak to my soul. So those are my 2 big challenges that I'm planning on tracking this year. So I have those in here. This next tab is yearly stats. This is where Allie just shines. Like, oh my goodness. I did delete some stuff off of here because I didn't need it, but I put in my Goodreads goal right here, which is 100, and I can, as I read a book, it will start filling that up. This is that average days to finish a book. And like, I only have 1 book in here right now, so it looks a little weird. It'll tell me how many star ratings I have, pages I read throughout the whole year, hours that I've listened, books read, rereads, owned versus books read. Like, I can put in how many books I own total in here. I don't know. That's actually, I don't know if I'll use this, but whatever. Month. So this tells me how many books per month that I have read. And you get this nice little line graph here that will tell me how many books, and you'll see it on a line graph. Format, we're getting all of these pie charts, which look, like I said, off right now because there's only 1 book. The audience, own voices, books read from, so like the different sources. And then the series, so how many series that I've read versus standalones. There's a lot of stuff on here that I'm not necessarily using, like author identity. I don't track that, which you can see here. A lot of the author stats I don't really track. The only one I'm actually tracking this year is the debut, new to me, or whether I've read it before. All right, and then up here, this is the genre. So right now I just read the one historical fiction, which you can see there. Average rating will be this pie chart, which once again, it just looks weird because there's only 1 book there. But anyway, those are all the yearly stats. But then in addition to that, we get monthly stats, which is this next page. And so here it's fun because it is actually like horizontal and I love the way that she has this set up. So each column is a month. So January right now, books read, pages read, hours listened, average rating, rereads. You get the genre count for the month, my format count, my audience count, all this stuff that I was tracking in my bullet journal, I can track right here. And then my source, those are the main things that I was tracking. But here I'm also going to be tracking the author status, debut authors, that sort of thing. And then I can track my DNFs also here, which I love. And so each column, you get 1 for each column, and by the end of the year, this will all be filled out, and I'll be able to look at my entire year like that. So yeah, that is it. And then this last tab is the instructions that Allie put together, which, once again, you will get if you download it. So that is my spreadsheet that I'm planning on using this year. I am really excited. I'm excited to have this all consolidated, to have it digital, to be able to just do it in one spot instead of doing it over multiple spots. I'm also honestly a little relieved that it won't be as time consuming to do it in my bullet journal. This is going to be a lot faster. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, all credit goes to Allie because she is the one that put this together. This was not my creation in any way, shape, or form. I'm only sharing it with you because I'm excited about it and I want you to be excited about it too. So definitely go check out her video. You can download it from her video. And yeah, I think it's just going to work out really well. So I'm excited to try this out this year and see how it goes. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Let me know down below how you track your reading. Do you track your reading? Do you use a book journal? Do you use a bullet journal? Do you use a spreadsheet? Which spreadsheet do you use? I know there's a lot of them out there. Like I said, I used Book Riots in the past. I know Currently Reading Podcast has one that some of my friends use. I know other people have created their own. This is just the one that spoke to me this year, and I'm excited to use it. So let me know what methods you use to track your reading if you do. And yeah, that's going to do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.